As a kid, all a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from everybody. Life lesson learned, I better learn from this bitch, nobody. She pushed me around, she didn't give no motherfucks about it. She broke my heart 3 times, but I ain't getting...
The San Francisco 49ers are going to be on the road traveling to face the New York Jets. Now, last week, the 49ers lost a really tight game to the Arizona Cardinals, 24-20. And the New York Jets lost to the Buffalo Bills, 27-17, in a game that was more one-sided than what the final score indicates. And for the 49ers, if you're a 49er fan, you're trying to figure out what the heck happened last week against Arizona. And you're still trying to figure out how did you lose that game because, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo played really good in my opinion, considering the fact that the 49ers wide receiving core has pretty much been the biggest question mark heading into the season. But I feel like he played really well. And also, they were able to run the football pretty effectively also. It's just the fact that they didn't have, all that much rushing yards in the stat sheet because they didn't really have to run the football because they were having so much success throwing the football in this Arizona Cardinals secondary. So, I think a big reason why they lost was because of Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. And I mean, Kyler Murray was just really dynamic in that game. I mean, when Kyler Murray got out the pocket, the 49ers had no answer for him. And then they didn't have no answer for DeAndre Hopkins. Now, a good thing is that going into this week, you don't have to worry about that because the New York Jets don't really have any major threats at the wide receiver position besides Jamison Crowder. And you don't really have to worry about dealing with a quarterback that's going to be killing you with his legs and Sam Darnold, who doesn't possess the athleticism that Kyler Murray possesses. And for the New York Jets, you're down another playmaker because Le'Veon Bell is going to be missing a couple of weeks. So, I mean, for the New York Jets, man, Buffalo really put the smackdown on you. And, I mean, it looked like that game was going to get ugly really quick because it was 21-0. I thought Buffalo might have went ahead and hang 50 on you. But New York was able to put up a little bit of a fight later on in the game, in the second half of the game, and they were able to put 17 points on the board. But in all honesty, even if you're a New York Jets fan, you have to admit the game seemed to be more one-sided than what the final score indicates. And I mean, you don't have an easy task this week going against a really good 49ers team that's looking for some payback after losing to the Arizona Cardinals. So, I mean, for the New York Jets, your wide receiver core still isn't great. I still stand by that. Now it's pretty apparent last week because your wide receivers, like I said last week, I didn't think your wide receivers were going to be able to create that much separation against that Buffalo Bills secondary. And what happened? The wide receiver core really struggled. And you're facing a 49ers secondary that is pretty good, although they did get carved up by DeAndre Hopkins last week. You don't have a DeAndre Hopkins on your team, and you don't have a Kyler Murray on your team. So, I mean, you have to rely on your offensive line to be able to protect Sam Darnold. And I don't really think they're going to be able to do that with how good this 49ers defensive line is. So, I mean, if you're the New York Jets, how do you win this game? Well, the first thing is, one thing for sure is that you have to play tight coverage on these San Francisco 49ers wide receivers because you cannot allow Jimmy Garoppolo all day to sit back and throw the football. Like, make Jimmy Garoppolo work for every pass that he has to throw, basically. Because if you give him all day to throw, he's going to carve you up. Just like how he did this Arizona Cardinals secondary last week. And then also, you have to be able to run the football. Now, Frank Gore is going to probably be starting in this game for Le'Veon Bell. Now, Frank Gore, although he is up there in age, he's still able to have some productive games and some productive performances like Adrian Peterson. So, I mean, Frank Gore is no slouch. If you're a 49ers fan, you're like, oh, man, they got Frank Gore at halfback. Like, Frank Gore is no slouch. I know he may seem like he's 90 years old, but Frank Gore is still pretty good, in my opinion. So, I mean, if you're the New York Jets, you need to find a way to run the football and only throw the football when need be. Because, listen, last week you didn't have a lot of success throwing the football on that Buffalo Bills secondary, and you're pretty much not going to have a lot of success this week if you have to try to throw the football to win the game. So, I mean, the team that I'm taking to win this game should be no surprise to anybody. I'm taking the 49ers to win this game. And, I mean, for the New York Jets, this is a must-win for the New York Jets. And I hate saying that teams are in must-win situations this early on in the NFL season because it's only week 2. But, I mean, if the New York Jets lose this game, I mean, you're going to put yourself in a big hole because you're going to be 0-2. Then the question marks concerning Adam Gase are going to pop up again. It's probably going to be some locker room rumors popping up. Like, I think this is a really must-win game for the New York Jets. The Jets have to win this game. And, I mean, this is a really tough game because you're facing one of the best teams in the NFL and the 49ers. And the 49ers don't really have any significant weaknesses at all, really. So, I mean, if you're the New York Jets, man, this is going to be a really tough game for you. I don't really know what you can really do, possibly. I mean, you hope that Denzel Mims comes and plays in this game. Maybe if he plays, he can have a little bit of an impact. But, I mean, your wide receiver position isn't all that great. Aside from Jamison Crowder, you don't really have anybody. Then you have tight end Chris Herndon, who pretty much is your second best option in the passing game. So, I mean, you only have 2 reliable options. And, I mean, I don't know if this offensive line is going to be able to protect Sam Darnold from this San Francisco 49ers pass rush. So, I mean, my final score prediction in this game, I think the 49ers win this one pretty convincingly. I think the 49ers win this thing 38-14 is my final score prediction in this game. And, like, listen, the New York Jets are not good, man. Like, last week I said, in that game versus the Buffalo Bills, we were going to find out a lot about the New York Jets. We were going to find out just how bad the New York Jets actually are. And we found out that the New York Jets actually are as bad as we thought they were heading into the season. And I mean, I guess the rumors about what they said, what happened in training camp with the first team offense getting outperformed by the second team offense kind of looked true because they struggled to move the ball down the field on that Buffalo Bills defense. And if you struggle to move the ball on Buffalo's defense, you're definitely going to struggle moving the ball on the 49ers defense. So, I mean, if you're the New York Jets, your only chance in this game is to probably try to run the football and commit to run the football and only throwing the football when need be. Because if you get down early and you have to throw your way to victory, you're not going to have a lot of success. One, because you're going to be facing a really great pass rush with the guys they have, with Bosa and everybody else, Arik Armstead, and then you also have to throw the football in a pretty solid secondary, and you don't have a guy like a DeAndre Hopkins to take advantage of that 49ers secondary like Arizona was last week. And Sam Darnold doesn't have the kind of athleticism that Kyler Murray possesses. So, I mean, if you're the New York Jets, man, you may be in for another snoozer if you're a New York Jets fan, man, because this game may get ugly, and it may get ugly really fast, and it may get ugly really quick, fast, in a hurry. Because, listen, like I said, you struggle to move the ball on Buffalo. So, I mean, if you struggle to move the ball on Buffalo's defense, you're pretty much going to struggle to move the ball on the San Francisco 49ers defense. So, I mean, if you're the New York Jets, man, like, this game, you don't really have all that much of a chance, just being honest. Like, every team in the NFL has a chance to win the game any given Sunday. But, I mean, your margin of victory in this game is slim to none. I mean, you have to play a perfect game of football. No turnovers, no interceptions. The defense has to play lights out. Everything has to go in your favor if you're a New York Jets fan, if you want to win this game.